There are three gods mentioned in Gita chapter 15, verses 16-17. Who are these three lords? After taking refuge in which god birth and death can be ended? Who is the best god among the three lords? What is he like? What is his name? To unravel all these mystical secrets, must listen the nectar words of Jagat Guru Tattvadarshi, Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, based on the holy scriptures of all religions.
Oi hoy. He acquires a radiant body. Now it has been made clear in Rigved Mandal number 9, Sukt number 1, Mantra number 9 that Som means immortal God, that calm-natured man means God, who as infant, Shishum, they mention Shishum here at a young age. Shishum means God appeared in child form. By all means, Abhi Adhanya. Adhanya means virgin cow. The cow who is untouched by bull is called virgin. And Abhi Adhanya means complete virgin cows. They have written by all means non-violent cows. It is the virgin cow, by all means nurture, that God who appears in the infant form. A virgin cow, heifer, nurtures him. The spectacle of his upbringing happens. Now I will show you. Vedas tell that God does like this, and God performed this spectacle 600 years ago. Suksham Ved tells this. See this, Suksham Ved, Kabir Sagar. Kabir speech. Khemraj Sri Krishna Das publication, Mumbai. Kabir Sagar, Gyan Sagar, first unit, edited by Kabir Panthi Bharat Pathik, Swami Yuglanand Bihari. Printer and publishers Khemraj Sri Krishna Das, President Sri Venkateshwar Press, Khemraj Sri Krishna Das Road, Mumbai. See at its page 74. Gyan Sagar.
अब सुन दुर्लभ मन भयो आनंदा, जिमी चकोर पायो निशी चंदा.
Aha. Getting the son, it is said, the weaver Niru became happy.
ले सुत चले हरस मन कीना,
They took the child and moved happily.
अरतासों पुन अस बोल ही लीना. सुत काशी को ले चले लोग देखण तय आवे, अन पानी बखे नहीं जुल्हा शोक मनावे.
He does not eat, which means that weaver Niru became very sad.
तब जुल्हा मन कीन दीवाना, रामानंद सो कही उत्पाना. मैं सुत पायो बड़ गुणवंता, कारण कौन बखे नहीं संता. रामानंद ध्यान तब धार्या, जुल्हा को तब वचन उचार्या. पूर्व जन्म मत ब्राह्मण जाति, हर सेवा की नी भलीभांति. कुछ तुव सेवा हरि की चूका, ताते भयो दुल्हे का रूपा. प्रीति प्रभु गही तोर लीना, ताते उद्यान में सुत तो ही दीना.
Now Ramananji tells like this that God being pleased gave you this son.
हे प्रभु जस कीनो तस पायो, आरत हो तो दर्शन आयो. सो कहिए उपाय गुसाई, बालक अक्षुदावंत कुछ खाई.
He is hungry, tell us the way so that he eats something.
रामानंद अस युक्ति उचारा, तुम सुत कोई ज्ञानी अवतारा.
He said that your son is not an ordinary person, he is an incarnation of some scholar.
बचिया जाही बैल नहीं लागा, सोले ठाड करो ते ही आगा.
Bring one heifer who is untouched by a bull means who has never milked, means the bull hasn't touched her, meaning is a virgin.
दूध चले ते थन ते दूध धरो छिपाई, अक्षुदावंत जब होवे ता कह देव खवाई. जुल्हा एक बछिया ले आवा, चलो दूत को मरम न पावा. चलो दूत जुल्हा हरसाना, राख छिपाई काहू नहीं जाना.
Now, here a little, because it has been 600 years to this scripture, and some talentless according to themselves. Here it was to be written, Lord Shankar came in the form of a messenger. They have done some cutting in this. According to them, the episode is cut, or there is a printing error. Here it is written that the messenger went. Who was the messenger? Lord Shankar himself came. God Kabir has confirmed this through Garib Das ji. Pious souls, the whole world agrees that all four Vedas are equipped with true knowledge, and God's glory has been written in them in detail, and whatever has been written in them is true. So in this it has been written that God performs such spectacle. No other great man performed such a spectacle to whom we used to count in the category of God. The spectacle was done only by that weaver Kabir who stayed in Banaras for 120 years and propagated true spiritual knowledge. He told his glory himself and went. He was God. First, we have to identify who God is. How is He? Where does He live? What is the method to attain Him? We are familiar with this, therefore. We are motivated that God provides much happiness to sad souls and gives plenty of money to the poor, gives eyes to the blind, gives son to a barren lady. Therefore, we are wandering in search for God. That God is Kabir Dev. He glorified himself.
अप आरती अप सजे, अप किगर अप बजे, अप ताल झांझनकारा, आप नचे आप देखण हारा. कहे कबीर ऐसी आरती गाऊं, आपा माहे आप समाऊं.
Pious souls, He is the Father of all souls. And this God Kal did one mistake in Satlok, and we also committed a mistake due to which we were expelled. Now this Kal, in order to sadden that God has troubled all the children of God, has tortured them so much. You take and see the history of any religion. No great man lived here peacefully. See Mahabharata. See the character of Sri Krishna. See the character of Sri Ramchandra ji. See the divine play. If he had taken one peaceful breath, then what is your and our base? Someone is made a dog, someone is made a donkey, someone's leg is cut, someone's hand is cut, someone is made blind, someone's son has died, someone's daughter has died. Somewhere it is hot, somewhere it is cold, somewhere flood comes, somewhere it is earthquake. Do not know how he is torturing us. His intention is that their father will be sad. And we are considering this Kal to be the father, and we are considering him our God. So God came and told that whom you call God is not God. Now in Gita Ji chapter number 15, verse 16 and 17, three gods, Purush separate, have been told. One is Kshar Purush, one is Akshar Purush in chapter 15, verse 16. And the worlds of both of them are mortal. The soul of everyone is immortal. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 17, it has been clarified that Uttam Purusha tu anyah Paramatma iti udharat hai. Purushottam. Purush means God, Uttam means superior. That superior God is some other. And Paramatma iti udharate. Uttam Purush. Uttam means superior. God is some other who is called Almighty. And he only enters in all worlds and nurtures everyone. He is eternal God. Hoy hoy. Pious souls, he is God because these holy scriptures are not written by kids, nor are these the poems written by laymen. This is God's knowledge, and every word, every syllable in it has so much importance. Deep secrets have been hidden in them. Uttam Purusha tu Anya, in Gita Ji chapter number 15, verse number 17, it has been written, Uttam Purusha tu Anya, means superior God is some other. With whom is he other? As above in verse 16, who are called Kshar Purush and Akshar Purush. He is other than them. There is one more information about that other in chapter 8, verse 1. Arjuna asked God what you said in chapter 7, verse 29 about Tat Brahm, that after knowing him, the seeker makes efforts only to get rid of old age and death. He does not keep any desire in this world. Then Arjuna asks in chapter 8, verse 1, Kim Tat Brahm? Who is that Tat Brahm? Brahma means God, Lord. Who is that other Tat Brahm from the knowledge giver of Gita? The knowledge giver of Gita said in chapter 8, verse 3, he is Paramakshar Brahma. Hoy hoy. He is another than the knowledge giver of Gita. In Gita chapter number 8, verse 5 and 7, knowledge giver of Gita tells to worship him that if you will worship me, then you will attain me. He gives information about his mantra in chapter 8, verse 13 that
ओम इति एकाक्षरम ब्रह्म व्यवहारण माम अनुसमरण ये प्रयाति तदन देहम स याति परमाम गतिम.
Mam Brahm, there is only one Om word for me. Brahm, one who chants this till last breath and leaves the body, attains liberation, benefit, ultimate place that is obtained from Om. In chapter 17, verse 23, it has been said there is instruction of 3-word mantra to attain that Paramakshar Brahm. Om Tat Sat iti nirdesha brahmana trividha smritah. Brahmane te veda cha yagyaha cha vihitapura. Om Tat Sat iti nirdesha brahmane. Brahmane means Sachidanand Ghan Brahm. To attain Paramakshar Brahm, there is a mantra of 3-word Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat is not a mantra. Om is of Brahm. Tat and Sat are indicative words, code words this servant can tell on this earth. No one else is authorized to tell this. Tat mantra is of Akshar Purush. It's indicative, the servant will tell that mantra. And Sat is of Paramakshar Brahma. In chapter 8, verse 8, 9 and 10, it has been said that who worships that Paramakshar Brahma with devotional earnings, he attains that Almighty. In chapter 15, from verse 1 till 4, it has been said that when an enlightened saint is found, he will be an enlightened saint who will tell all parts of an upside-down hanging world like a tree, which God is the trunk, which God is the stem, and who are the branches, and who is the supreme God. So he will be an enlightened saint. In Gita Ji chapter 4 verse 34 it has been said that ask information about that God Paramakshar Brahm from the enlightened saint. And in Gita Ji chapter number 4 verse number 32 it has been said that the speech uttered from the mouth of that Sachidanand Ghan Brahma, Brahmane Mukhe, that Sachidanand Ghan Brahm came and glorified himself in his speech, has said in detail in the speech of Sachidanand Ghan Brahm. That is true spiritual knowledge. That true spiritual knowledge has been said in chapter 4 verse 34 that you go to enlightened saint and understand that true spiritual knowledge. Then that enlightened saint will give you information about that God. So the knowledge giver of Gita has left an option here. He has surely indicated that to attain that God, Om Tat Sat, these are the 3 mantras to chant. But he could not define Tat and Sat. God came himself and revealed this secret. In Suksham Ved also it was written secretly. So he could not understand this divine act of Almighty. So he left an option that some enlightened saint will tell about that God. So that enlightened saint, God came himself, Almighty Kabir Ji, that you are observing today on the occasion of the Satsang ceremony. You are attending it. You are present. So intending the same God comes in every era to perform divine acts which he does in every era. He came with that intention. His purpose was that he himself comes and gives that true spiritual knowledge from his mouth. Therefore, in Gita Ji, chapter number 4, verse number 32, it has been said that Brahmane Mukhe. Brahmane means from the mouth of Paramakshar Brahma, means in the speech uttered from his mouth. It has been said in detail. So, pious souls, we have to identify that God, and to identify the qualities of God, the characteristics of God are present in our pious scriptures. Our ancestors could not understand these pious scriptures because they were illiterate. Only one community was literate, the Brahmins. They were called great sages. They only were called Brahmins. They only were at the post of gurus. Now, the intention of those Brahmins was not bad. The purpose was that we should understand holy scriptures and tell knowledge to society. They should do devotion. And they started doing the same. But this Kal has said in Gita Ji chapter 7 that Arjun, the power of the powerful and the wisdom of the wise are in my hands. Whenever I want, I will on, and whenever I want, I will off. So he has off the wisdom of everyone. And in all these scriptures, it has been clearly written that God is in form. Still they are beating drums that God is formless. So the wisdom was off. And about this, God Kabir has said,
मोती मुक्ता दर्शत नाही, ये जग है सब अंदरे, दिखत के तो नैन चश्म, इनको फेरा मोतिया बंदरे.
Those who have white cataracts in their eyes, it seems to be absolutely fine, but they cannot see anything. Other people understand that he can see, his eyes are all right, but he cannot see at all. Similarly, they seem to be scholars to us, but they were ignorant about knowledge. Sages, great sages, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, till Durga were all ignorants. They did not have any spiritual knowledge. Pious souls, the words that this servant is saying today, the society is decent, humans are educated, so it is acceptable to you because this servant is giving you evidence. And God has spoken these words 600 years ago, which this servant is speaking the knowledge told by him. At that time was the act to be beaten, but how will God stop? How would he remain quiet? If God wouldn't have given this knowledge at that time, then how would we have identified that he was God? And people used to say that he does not know Sanskrit, has not read Vedas, yet he is speaking the knowledge of Vedas, so he was God. We have to understand this. We have to set our intellect. Bandi Chhod Kabir is God. So this servant wants to tell all that evidence so that God is proven God in your heart. These words are bitter like quinine that Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh and Durga and sages, great sages, Vashisht ji, Vyas ji, and what is this name? Vishwamitra ji, Bhardwaj, all sages, great sages did not have knowledge of the Vedas, have no spiritual knowledge, have no knowledge of Vedas because we consider Vedas to be all in all. Now this evidence would have to be given. Else it is bitter like quinine, the children spit as it is kept on tongue, and along with it is inserted inside by sugar coating it. Now, see, this concept has to be made clear that even Brahma, Vishnu ji had no knowledge, did not had spiritual knowledge. And even the Brahmins in Satyug did not have spiritual knowledge, Veda knowledge. And 600 years ago, God used to say,
मोती मुक्ता दर्शत नाही, ये जग है सब अंदरे, दिखत के तो नैन चश्म, इनका फेरा मोतिया बंदरे.
They seem to be scholars and they have an ignorance cataract, devoid of true spiritual knowledge. They did not have Vedas knowledge, sages, great sages, Brahma, Vishnu till Mahesh. Now what God used to tell today, the scriptures are also telling the same. Look, Srimad Devi Bhagavad means Shakti Puran, Durga Puran, published from Gita Press, Gorakhpur. Who is its editor? The editor is Hanuman Prasad Podar Chimanlal Goswami. The publisher and printer is Gita Press, Gorakhpur, Govind Bhavan Office, Institute of Kolkata. These are their fax and phone numbers. See this in first skand of this pious Puran, Srimad Devi Bhagavad, on page number 28. A discussion is going on between Narad ji and Vyas ji. Vyas ji is the writer of 18 Puranas. Vyas ji is the writer of 4 Vedas, Gita ji, these 18 Puranas, and Sri Sudha Sagar. And he is discussing with Narad ji. Narad ji said, Great Vyas ji, what are you asking about this subject? Exactly the same question was asked by my father from Sri Hari. Narad ji's father is Brahma ji. God of gods is the Lord of the world. Lakshmi ji remains present in his service. Divine Kaustubhmani enhances his beauty. He holds shell, chakra and mace, wears pitambar, has 4 arms, which means he told the complete definition. He is Vishnu ji. He is the sustainer of the world, Jagat Guru. He is the God of gods. This God of the world, Lord Sri Hari, was doing great austerity. Vishnu ji was doing austerity. He was meditating. Seeing this, my father, Brahma ji, was shocked. Hence he, meaning Brahma ji, desired to ask from Vishnu ji. Brahma ji asked God, You are superior amongst deities, Lord of the world, past, present and future, and the only ruler of all creatures. God, then why are you performing austerity, and in which God's devotion are you engrossed? I am greatly surprised that you are Deveshwar, means Lord of all the deities, God of all the gods. Brahma ji is saying to Vishnu ji, being God of gods and the controller of the whole world, you are meditating. Now what did Vishnu ji reply? Hearing the humble words of Brahma ji, Lord Sri Hari said these words. Sri Hari said to him, Brahman, listen attentively. I express the thoughts of my mind. Deities, demons, humans all know that you create, I sustain, and Shankar destroys. Yet the knower of Vedas prove this through their intellect, that the ability of creation, sustainability and destruction that we have got, its presiding power is Goddess. They say that to create the world, there is the transmission of Rajasi creation power in you. With this, it is also proved that Rajgun is Brahma, Sadgun is Vishnu, Tamgun is Shivji. I have got Sattvic sustain power and Rudra has got Tamasi destruction powers. Suvrat. I put both direct and indirect examples in front of you. Listen. It is sure that being under that power, I means Vishnu ji, sleeps on the bed of Sheshnag. I wake up the moment it comes to create. I always perform austerity and I cannot remain free from the control of that power. If I get the opportunity, then I am blessed to spend a happy time with Lakshmi. At times, I fight with demons. It becomes my prime duty to pacify the giant bodies of demons who fear the whole world, means the entire world. It is also getting proved that God Kabir ji says,
तंदर सुखिया कोई ना देखा, जो देखा सो दुखिया हो, और ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश्वर दुखिया जिन ये राह चलाई हो.
He says, I always remain in meditation and can never be liberated by the control of Shakti. If I get an opportunity, I spend some happy time with Lakshmi and then war with the demons. I keep fighting with demons. God himself is accepting that he does not have comfort at all. Now see, Lord Vishnu ji is saying, by all means I have to remain under Shakti. I am dependent and I continuously remember that Bhagavati means Durga, the power. I worship her. Brahmaji, in my information, spiritual knowledge, no other deity is as powerful as the Bhagavati Shakti. Now, the end of the spiritual knowledge came of Vishnuji. He says, no other god is superior to Durga according to my information. Now, pious souls, if the servant would have left by saying these words that Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Durga, etc., these sages, great sages, did not have spiritual knowledge, so the person who hears it the first time gets up and goes, he says, he talks all nonsense. And seeing the evidence, one or two pious souls who would have come, many new devotees also come. Therefore, the purpose of this servant is that I should give the knowledge from class 1 till PhD from this collective educational venue, means through Satsang, so that the benefit of knowledge sacrifice should be to all creatures. So here it is clear that Vishnuji is ignorant. Brahmaji himself does not know. He asks Vishnuji, and Naraji does not know, Vyasji does not know. And see ahead, what does Durgaji tell? Vishnuji says, I do not believe any god above Durga, neither do I know. Now, what does Durgaji say? What does Durgaji say? Look in Skand 7 on page 562, 7th Skand, the same Srimad Devi Bhagavad. This is the same Puran, see here. 7th Skand and page 562. The goddess is giving knowledge to the king of mountains. Wisdom sermon by a goddess to the mountain, and description of the Brahma form means she is providing information about Brahma. Sri Devi ji says, King of mountains. First she tells about herself, then she even rejects herself. She says, what is the form of that Brahma? This is being told. The illuminated form located close to each one in their heart, popular with the name Guhachar, which is the superior position, means that is ultimate attainable. That is beyond the knowledge of people, means it is difficult to understand by others. Know this. This highly illuminated form, which is also extremely small micro, where entire regions and all creatures are located, is Akshar Brahma. Now Durga speaks rubbish. At times she says that he is Akshar Brahma. Somewhere she tells he is Brahma. Now see, he is everyone's life, he is everyone's voice and mind of all. That is the ultimate truth. A nectar indestructible element, Saumya. Focus on that deserving target which is worth, and by applying your wisdom get obsessed to it completely. Now we take a little bit from here itself. Know only that one God, leave everything else. This is the only bridge leading to that nectar-like Almighty. By crossing this huge world, this is the easiest way to attain that nectar form God. Soul should meditate by chanting Om. Beyond all ignorance, form, darkness, and across this huge world, there is Brahma. You will attain that Brahma. May your welfare be done. She clarified this. She even abandons her worship, says, don't worship me. Know only that one God, his mantra is Om and Brahma. Aim to attain Brahma by chanting Om mantra. Chant Brahma, and where does he reside? The soul form Brahma is seated in that divine sky Brahma Lok. Oh. Now Durga clarified that worship only Brahma, his chanting is Om, he resides in Brahma Lok. Now pious souls, Goddess Durgaji, who is supreme to Brahmaji, Vishnuji, Maheshji, she rejected the knowledge of Brahmaji, Vishnuji, Maheshji, Naradji, Vyasji, everyone. Now the goddess says that only Brahma is the final God, is complete God. Now what does Brahma says? In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 8, verse number 13, Kal Brahma, who is speaking from within Sri Krishna, he says that Om iti ekaksharam Brahma Vyaharan Mam Anusamran. Om is a one-word mantra. While chanting it loudly, who leaves the body means who chants my Om mantra till the last breath attains my ultimate liberation. And then, what does this knowledge giver of Gita Brahma tells? In chapter 4, verse 5 and 9, in chapter 2, verse 12, in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, he says, Arjun, you and I have been born several times. You were earlier, I was also earlier. These kings were there also. Soldiers were also there. And do not think that further we will not be born. My birth and deeds are superhuman. So, pious souls, what does the knowledge giver of Gita tell? In chapter 18, verse 62, that Arjun, by all means you go in the shelter of that God, by his grace only you will attain supreme peace. And Sanatan, ultimate abode, which is Sanatan, ultimate abode, Satlok. About it in chapter 15, verse 1 to 4, it has been said that the enlightened saint will be the one who will tell about all parts of the upside hanging world like a tree, will tell its divisions. After that, the ultimate position God should be searched, having gone where seekers do not come back in this world, means he is completely liberated. With this, it is proved that there is some supreme power above the knowledge giver of Gita, and he is Paramakshar Brahma. You were just told about him in chapter 8, verse 1. Arjun had asked. In chapter 7, verse 29, you told about Tat Brahma. Who is that Tat Brahma? In chapter 8, verse 3, it has been said that he is Paramakshar Brahma. So with this, it is proved that neither Brahma knows nor Vishnu knows and not even Shiv knows, because Brahma, Vishnu and Shiv have knowledge of the same level. Neither Durga has complete knowledge. She is telling Brahma to be final. And Brahma says, I and you have been born several times. Birth and death, this sadness will remain forever. There cannot be ultimate peace. If you have to remain in my shelter, then pick up the rod and fight. This has to be done here. If you want ultimate peace, then go in refuge of that God. This is finalized. Now I will show you how was the knowledge of Brahmins in Satyug. Look, pious souls, it is your fortune you got to hear this nectar knowledge. It is your fortune you got to hear and see this nectar knowledge. This is 6th Skand, concise Devi Bhagavad, on page 414. Janmejay asked Mahabhag, what is the nature of religion in every era? Please explain the whole context specifically. Vyasji said, King, it is sure in Satyug, Brahmins had complete knowledge of the Vedas. Look, Vyasji is saying that Brahmins in the Satyug had complete knowledge of the Vedas, and they used to worship Bhagavati Jagdambika, which means goddess Durga, continuously. They always used to long for the sight of Bhagavati. Every village should have a temple of Shakti. They had this eagerness in their mind. They used to worship goddesses and were scholars of Vedas. Damn it. And it is said they established temples in Satyug, these fake Brahmins. Till now they have ruined everything because of their selfishness. They kept their servants, the offerings started coming and they relished. Every village should have a temple of Shakti. Now what they have said here, look, and this is the situation of Brahmins of Satyug. Now listen to the status of Kali Yuga Brahmins in this very Puran itself. Similar religious situation was in the Treta era, but some deterioration happened. The situation which was in Satyug deteriorated further in Dwapar. King, in those ancient times, Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, those who were considered to be demons are believed to be the Brahmins in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, because present Brahmins are eager for hypocrisy. cheat others, to lie and avoid Vedic rituals has become the nature of Kali Yugi Brahmins. Now, pious souls, God had said 600 years ago,
वेद पढ़े पर वेद न जाने, ये बाँचे पुराण 18। और पत्थर को ये पत्ते खुआवे, भूल गए सिरजनहारा। वेद पढ़े, वेद नहीं जाने, और ये बाँचे पुराण 18।
and they do not know about ABC, what has been written in these Puranas. Brahmaji is eternal, immortal, all in all, Maheshwar. He does not have any mother and father. He only is supreme power, and he does not take birth and dies. And in Puranas it has been written that they take birth and die, their birth and death happens. The same will be clear in Devi Purana. Pious souls, unless we ourselves will not be familiar with those holy scriptures, so the folklore deposited within us since ages, the legends will not be removed, and without it being removed, the interest in God will not increase, else our faith will remain in them. So the intention of this servant is that I should familiarize you, so that by seeing evident proof you should recognize God and should understand knowledge. And if knowledge is understood, then even the child will glorify God, and anyone will say like this that Kabir is God. Now they say that, leave it. Who has made Kabir as God? See this brother. Listen, he tells that Kabir the weaver God. Means thousands, lakhs, million people will be found saying this. And then what will happen? There will not be a single one to oppose. They will say like this that yes, brother, Kabir is God. Kabir only was God. He was complete Brahma. Then after coming into that situation, if I will tell that knowledge glorify in code words, yet it will be understood to you and you will enjoy more. So this farm is being prepared for that. This field is prepared. The scriptures are shown face to face, like a child goes to school and he acquires knowledge there in class for 6 to 7 hours, tolerating summer, winter, everything, and in almost 1 year, he becomes eligible to pass one class, and after continuously studying for 15, 16 or 20 years, he becomes perfect in that knowledge, and then there becomes a way of survival. Therefore, the servant is narrating to you Satsang form lecture here. You will have to hear this to attain God and salvation. So in this, any type of little bit, summer, winter, whatever is God's grace, the effort of these servants is that the children of God should not have any discomfort. Every possible effort is done to protect you from summer, winter, and then make you hear God's glory. Yet we should dare, we should be courageous, like we go in a bus or train for our survival. Then we stand for 6 hours on one leg holding a pole. Even in so many crowds, we do not bother, and where we will go, there is no place to get down. If we get down, then we will be marked absent. We are helpless. So, pious souls, here if you will feel some problem of summer, winter, then consider it to be God's grace. Its virtue will be separate. And earlier we did not know. We used to worship also and were also called devotees and used to watch movies as well. Earlier there used to be VCR and their cassettes used to be large like this for 3 hours. We used to bring that on Sunday. Today we will bring VCR on rent and will watch 3 films. The rent of 1 movie is rupees 100. Same is for 3 movies, rupees 100. Rent is for the night. So 3 movies means a 9-hour movie. We start at 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. and prepare tea and drink. We used to stare and watch like this, and it was useless. And here, whatever time you get for God, it is your fortune. Believe this truth. This chance to hear this nectar knowledge does not come again and again. We have become deaf hearing these legends. We got tired doing God's devotion and did not get any benefit because God was not found who provides benefit. We did not know that God. What did God used to tell?
चारों युग में मेरे संत पुकारे और कूक कहा हम हेल रे, हीरे माणिक मोती बरसे, ये जग चुगता ढेल रे। ओए होए,
As in Rigved Mandal number 9, Sukt number 86, Mantra number 26 and 27. In Rigved Mandal number 9, Sukt 82, Mantra number 1, 2, 3. In Rigved Mandal number 9, Sukt number 82, Mantra number 1. And at many other places in Rigved Mandal number 9, Sukt number 96, Mantra number 16 to 20, it has been clarified that God comes with speed from Satlok. He is Kabir Dev, Kabir Sahib, and meets his good souls, and then those good souls further sing God's glory to the world amongst those who all are those pious souls for whom God comes as per his nature. He plays the divine act which Vedas are telling. To whom did God meet amongst those? To respected Dharamdas Sahib Ji, respected Nanak Sahib Ji, respected Maluk Das Sahib Ji, respected Garib Das Sahib Ji, respected Dadu Das Sahib Ji, respected Ghisa Das Sahib Ji. These are those superior souls, and these pious souls, these saints further glorified God. They gave the same knowledge which God told them. About them it is said,
चारों युग में संत पुकारे कूक कहा हम हेल रे हीरे माणिक मोती बरसे हैं ये जग चुगता ढेल रे.
I'm shouting true spiritual knowledge and real devotional path form diamonds and pearls. I am narrating you the knowledge. And they, instead of listening to our knowledge by not recognizing these diamonds and pearls, by not knowing real devotional paths, are accumulating arbitrary conduct form unscriptural form stones and pebbles. They are collecting stones. They have filled their pockets. That I am carrying lal. I have taken precious stones. God says these precious stones will be checked in the court of Dharamraj. Then you will weep badly.
ये संसार समझदा नाई कहंदा श्याम दोपहरे नु गरीबदास ये वक्त जात है रोगे इस पैरे नु.
God says,
हमरा ज्ञान किने ना सुनिया और ये पर भी लेन जात है दुनिया.
they go there to waste time, that today there is a Kumbh Mela, the Parbhi will be in the morning 3 a.m. The world is gathering there. It is said, Hamra Gyan Kinhe na sunya, ye Parbhi len jaat hai duniya. Where all the innocent souls are wondering,
मैं रोवत हूँ सृष्टि को या सृष्टि रोवे मोहे गरीबदास.
Kabir Sahib says,
इस वियोग को हो समझ ना सकता कोई.
you are searching me, God Kabir is saying, and I am crying for you that I am your father. I am wandering for you. You are suffering so much. Come to my shelter. I will give you happiness here as well. In Kal's world, whatever is not in your fate and no one can give, I will give you that, whatever will be necessary. I will give that. And you are kids, you demand others unnecessary, that I will not give which will hinder your devotion, because our aim is to liberate you from Kal's web and take you to Satlok. After going to Satlok, you will be born once like this itself, then you will never die. There, you will have a family. You have come from there. There all arrangements, bungalows, houses made as it is, because the house there never destroys. The material is very beautiful and you will always remain there. We have come due to our mistake by rejecting all comforts of the court of that God. We got trapped in the web of this Kal. We started liking him after seeing his acting. He was performing austerity there, and we forgot our God and believed this Kal to be our. Today, what cruelty this Kal has done on us. They used to tell us legends. They were not familiar with their scriptures. These fake Brahmins, gurus, sages, great sages were not familiar with these Puranas, and Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha, eternal, immortal, all in all, Maheshwar, they did not have parents, they do not take birth or die. They used to say things like this. It was legend, folklore, and it has been written in their biography that they are mortal, they take birth and die. Durga is their mother, Brahma is their father, Jyoti Niranjan. See this biography of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. This is the same Devi Bhagavad. published from Gita Press, Gorakhpur. Editor Hanuman Prasad Podar, Chimanlal Goswami. Now see on page 123, Skand 3, on page 123, Vishnuji is glorifying his mother Durga and is telling his situation. You are a pure figure. This whole world is arising from you only. I, Brahma and Shankar, I mean Vishnu, Brahma and Shankar exist by your grace. We take birth, avirbhav, and die, tirobhav. Only you are eternal. You are the universal mother, Jagat Janani, Prakriti and Sanatani goddess. Do remember this Prakriti word, it will help you in Gita Ji when in chapter 14 the servant will tell you that born from Prakriti, three gunas, Rajgun Brahma, Satgun Vishnu, Tamgun Shivji, keep creatures in bondage of karmas. Prakriti means Durga in chapter 14, verse 3, 4, 5. It has been written that Prakriti is my wife, I am her husband. I impregnate seed in her womb with which all creatures are born. Vishnuji is saying that I, Brahma and Shankar exist by your grace. We take birth, avirbhav and die, tirobhav. Only you are eternal. You are the universal mother, Jagat Janani, Prakriti and Sanatani goddess. In this support, God Shankar said, Goddess, if the greatly fortunate Vishnuji has taken birth from you, then Brahmaji, who was born after him, must also be your son only. And then I, Shankar, who does destruction duty, is not your child. Hence proved that Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh are indestructible and their mother is Durga. You only are my originator, Shiva. You are very wise in the creation of the whole world. Your powers are always present in the world's creation, preservation and destruction. Born of these three qualities, gunas, we, Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar, remain devoted to work according to the duties. With this, it is proved that Rajgun Brahma, Satgun Vishnu, Tamgun Shivji, and they can only do destined work, they cannot change anything in work done. The small description of pious Puran has cleared four concepts that 1. That Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva are mortal, their birth and death happen. 2. Durga is their mother. 3. Rajgun is Brahma, Satgun is Vishnu and Tamgun is Shivji. 4. Whatever is one's deeds, they can provide only that and cannot change anything in that. They cannot destroy sins, they cannot change destiny. Only Kabir Dev, that is Kabir Sahib, can do. The pious souls who saw God Almighty came and met them amongst them, one pious creature, pious soul, pious great man, respected Garib Das Sahib Ji, tells God's glory.
मासा घटे न तिल बधे विद ना लिखे जो लेख सच्चा सतगुरु मेट कर ऊपर मारे मेख.
Whatever God has written in your fate, virtues or sins, you have to suffer all of them. Nothing can be changed in them, only complete saint, who is the worshipper of complete God. That God, Kabir, and his blessed true saint can change your fate. He can resolve your sorrows.
गरीब जम जो राजा से डरे मिटे कर्म के लेख अदली असल कबीर हैं ये कुल के सतगुरु एक.
Pious souls, this 5-day spiritual discourse is done because first, it is God's mercy that these are holidays because it is very difficult to get rid of the crusher of Kal. God only has brought you here. When you will get familiar with God's spectacle, then children, you will weep putting your face in a quilt. Oh God, you are so merciful, we were too naughty. We were considering Kal's drama to be final. This car, this bungalow, this factory is mine. In 1 minute death happens, then where is this mine? God opened our eyes, Kal fooled us and has captured us here. He does not let us move from here. He has entangled us in the affection of son, daughter, grandson, granddaughters, and car and bungalow. We call this situation ancient, and this duty is of Lord Vishnu, Satogun, and we produce children. We want to accumulate luxuries. This Rajogun Brahmaji is getting it done. This is the duty of Brahmaji. And we are destroyed. This is the duty of Shankarji. All these three are Kal's sons, and Kal is eating us 1 lakh daily. Now, pious souls, when you will understand this knowledge, then see, God has brought you here. He gets your bail done from this Kal. As bail comes from jail from those who are imprisoned, they are relieved on special bail and evidence guarantee that is taken from the bail takers, then they are relieved. So God takes your bail that relieves them for 3 days, 4 days, grants bail for 2 days, then they will come back to your jail. So pious souls, this is Kal's jail.
एक पुन्नी एक पापी आया, एक है सूम दलेल बे। एक पुन्नी एक पापी आया, एक है सोम दलेल रे। गरीबदास सतपुरुष भजन बिन, सब ही यम की जेल रे। ओए होए।
Like someone, instead of doing true worship, does some charity, community meal, give grains to birds, open drinking water for public, build community centers, have dug wells, have installed hand pumps. They are virtuous souls. And one only steals and robs, thinks good, bad, is a sinner, and one does not do charity, is a miser. It is said, until you won't get true worship, shelter of God through a complete saint, so all of you are in the prison of Kal. The virtuous soul goes to heaven, and here sins also happen parallel. Virtues are written separately, sins are written separately, and none finishes without suffering. It is the law here, and God Kabir Ji's law is,
जब ही सतनाम हृदय धरो, भयो पाप को नासे। जैसे चिंगारी अग्नि की, भाई पड़े पुराने घासे।
our 3 types of deeds are being told. 1, accumulated deeds which have been deposited earlier in the court of Dharamraj, both virtues and sins. So how is the ratio of virtues and sins done? Whose virtues are more have been provided more virtues, and if sins are less, then the ratio of sins has been reduced. So here he has more happiness and less sorrow. And ones who have sins more and less virtues, so adding sins and virtues in the same ratio, you are provided life. That is destiny. That becomes a predestined deed. So those whose virtues are less and sins more, he is continuously facing problems, so by suffering only one will get rid of it. Third is running deeds that we are doing presently. These are 3 types of deeds. Only God Kabir can destroy these 3 types of deeds. Now what God says about accumulated deeds and about all these sins, that jab hi satnam hriday dharo, this true mantra, satnam is no chanting. This chanting is of 2 words that is given to you, in which one is Om mantra.
जब ही सतनाम हृदय धरो, भयो पाप को नाश। और मानो चिंगारी अग्नि की, भाई पड़े पुराने घास।
And maybe a big heap of dry grass of lakh ton is lying, and it is unnecessary, occupying space. Then burn a matchstick and put in it, that will burn it all to ash, and then when air will blow fast, it will throw ash here and there, and fields it will clean it. Similarly, this mantra of God will be in your heart, not by chanting mantra for formality, but there should be true dedication. Do not do arbitrary worship. That person should remain within rules. Then God will burn his sins like that. Lakh ton means accumulated deeds that were kept. He will burn them like that. So here it has been said,
मासा घटे ना तिल बधाए, विधना लिखे जो लेख, सच्चा सतगुर मेट कर ऊपर मारा मेघ।
Garibdas ji says,
जम जो राजा से डरे,
Jam means Kal, Jora means death.
जम जो राजा से डरे मिटे कर्म के लेख।
Adli asal Kabir hai. Adli means justice provider. The real justice provider is God Kabir. He is the only one Satguru. He is the same Lord of lineage. He is the true Guru. Rest fake ones also started calling themselves Satguru. They were ignorant. So pious souls, God only has brought you here. And it is your fortune that you have reached here. You are taking a dip in the nectar knowledge of God. This knowledge form river flows here. Now I will narrate you as was the episode yesterday. And Vedas witness that God comes and meets good souls, superior souls, firm devotees. Those are firm devotees who understand knowledge once, then the whole world on one side, and that devotee on one side, he does not agree with anyone. As it was understood by Prahlad that my father speaks in sleep. He says, I'm God, worship me. While in sleep, he's speaking, like the patient of Sanipat. He had firm knowledge that the benefit will be from God's worship. So he gave 1,000,000 troubles to his son, but Prahlad did not change. By souls, the same situation happened now. This Karantha scandal happened. Its reason was that the business of these fake saints, sages and preachers came to stand still. They were scared that the public might not come to know the truth and they will admonish you. You were such an acharya. You do not even know ABC. From where were you, Guru? How much massacre they did by misguiding king and the public. How much they lie. How much they talk nonsense that this happens there, that happens there. But you were in the role of Prahlad. You did not hear of that society and fake acharyas and fake media at all. You could not be moved. You have played the role of Prahlad. Otherwise, listening to such nonsense, even the family members run far away as rumors were spread about us. So, past souls, it was God's examination that how much my children have identified me, because this scandal happened from 1994 to 2006. From 1994 till 2006, it is almost 12 years. In these 12 years, God has to see how much my children have identified me. Because 600 years ago from today, God took one examination. He roamed the entire market sitting on the elephant along with a famous whore, holding a bottle of Ganga water and touching it to the mouth. When God had 64 lakh disciples, then God Kabir wanted to see whether they are familiar with me or they are considering me God because of the happiness they are getting. So, what happened at that time, seeing this spectacle? All 64 lakh turned away from the God. Hearing folklore, all the people said, look how worthless is your Guruji, how bad he's doing prostitution in public, drinking alcohol, he is with a whore. Now they were fools. God used to say, you worthless when you had happiness, your sorrows were finished. The saliva of your mouth used to dry, glorifying me in front of the public that God has come. We were sad like this. He gave us happiness. And today, I have become so bad that I even drink and do prostitution. Your intellect does not even work this much. Damn you, go to hell. God wanted to see this. So, pious souls, today even the worst allegations have been put on us, but not even a single child of mine had gone because they got familiar with God. So this is the benefit of education, that we are recognizing God. This was the examination.
आप सुन रहे थे जगत गुरु तत्वदर्शी संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी के मंगल प्रवचन। अधिक जानकारी के लिए विजिट कीजिए हमारी वेबसाइट www.jagatgururampalji.org। संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी के शुभ आशीर्वाद से पूरे विश्व भर में 500 से भी ज्यादा नाम दीक्षा केंद्र हैं, जिन पर संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी द्वारा ऑनलाइन निशुल्क नाम दीक्षा दी जा रही है। अपने नजदीकी नाम दीक्षा केंद्र का पता करने के लिए संपर्क करें 8222880541।